A task analysis, or TA, is an evidence-based process of breaking up a skill into smaller, more manageable steps in order to teach the skill. School and business staff benefit from the use of a TA because it serves as a written record of student performance and business expectations. Businesses do not have to devote additional time to training school staff who may be unfamiliar with a business site. A TA provides structure to ensure that a student is taught the task the same way each time, and instruction can be consistently delivered between multiple instructors. This prevents instructors from using different teaching techniques, which can lead to student confusion and frustration. Even if the same staff member is not able to work with the same student within the classroom or work experience, use of a TA means data collection is still objective, reliable, and can be replicated. Furthermore, consistency in instruction will aid in student mastery and independence. Start by observing or completing the required task yourself and write down each step needed to complete the task. When writing down the steps, ask yourself if each step transitions to the next, if prerequisite skills are required, or if a task can be broken into smaller subtasks. For example, it may be sufficient to break a step into fold 5 towels, but another student may need additional steps to count out 5 towels and explicit instructions on how to fold each towel. In this example, folding or counting is a prerequisite skill, and the subtask of collecting 5 towels may need to be broken into further components, depending on the student's skill level. The length of the TA will vary depending on the complexity of the task and the particular student's abilities. Each step should be comprised of a single observable behavior and assigned a verbal cue. This way, if a verbal prompt is given, it will be the same verbal prompt no matter who is using the task analysis. Steps are ordered in the sequence in which they will be taught, and natural supports and strategies should be built into the TA. For example, if a student uses a visual support for a particular task, such as a reminder on the number of towels needed, the TA should include a verbal cue to use this visual. Here, the steps should be written as check your sign for the correct number of towels, instead of something like get correct number of towels, parentheses 5, end parentheses. The step is a verbal cue that can be stated to the student, and it directs the student to use the visual support. The final step is to test the TA. Follow the exact steps of the TA you created and test to see if this task is completed successfully. Very few TAs are ever perfect on the first go-round. Testing the TA allows you to assess whether the skills are broken down appropriately and if you forgot any steps. It's good practice when writing out the TA to question whether or not this is the most efficient way to complete a task. Is the student collecting all necessary items in one trip to avoid wasting time with multiple trips? Is the student using both hands to increase her pace? This practice may help you to avoid having to untrain routines and reteach tasks down the road. Eliminating discrimination from a task ensures that quality standards are set and maintained. For example, rather than teach a student to determine if a surface needs to be cleaned, teach the student to clean an entire surface using a particular pattern, like an up and down motion. So instead of saying clean mats if needed, this step could be reworded to clean mats starting at top right corner and move on to next mat. Eliminating discrimination also keeps the task routine, consistent, and reduces the chance that a student will develop error patterns over time.
The VCU Center on Transition Innovations is funded by the Virginia Department of Education. For further information about the Center on Transition Innovations, please visit our website at centerontransition.org.